Meanwhile, in the floating kingdom of Fae, in Otherworld.
Alright everyone, it's me, Saturnine. And as of right now, it stands Araco 10, Krakoa 5. And for the next battle, it's time to see who will slay. The runway! Hit it, Billy Porter!
Oh, what's up, you fabulous mutants? The category is the future of your homeworld. And first, coming to the runway, we've got Aurora Monroe, a true goddess.
Oh,
Oh, look at her. She was born on the runway. Up next, we've got the hirsute legend himself, Wolverine.
Oh, I can't believe I'm fucking doing this role.
What the hell is this? Who led you on this runway?
Outfit's ridiculous.
That is the saddest thing I've ever seen, and I've seen Terms of Endearment. Coming up next, we've got the Green Machine herself. Let's root for the Red Root.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Honey, you are a mess. Honey, you are a hot mess.
Oh.
What is that frock? Jesus.
Oh.
And finally, we've got All's Fair in Love and Her War.
If anyone fucking says anything, I'll fucking kill all of you. God.
Literally on fire.
Let me work it though. Cock. Bam, bam, bam,
Listen to
bam,
those
bam, bam.
cockiness. Judges, for Storm and Wolverine, give us your scores. 9, 9.5, 9, 10. Judges, now, for the Araco Mutant. Oh, 10s across the board. How? Did you see their outfits? Okay. Point to Araco, I guess.
Hello, everyone. And you were just listening to one of the Ten of Swords battle from the latest ongoing saga in the X-Men universe. Hi, everyone. This is CBQ Legacy. That's Comic Book Queers, if you're not in the know. I'm Evil Jeff, and once again, I am joined by our gorgeous, long-haired
Gorgeous.
host,
Oh,
Brett.
I have long hair. I have long hair now. Hey, get in the know already. If you haven't been in the know by now, what are you waiting for?
Seriously, this is episode 157?
57.
Come on, there's so
my
much
God.
for you to go through.
So much.
And there's so much for us to go through right now because
Yes.
I have opinions.
Opinions? So do I.
Jesus Christ. But before we get into Ten of Swords, which will be the main topic of discussion, I think we need to get into some, what are you gonna hit?
Oh.
Hot
topics. The category for our Hot Topic segment this week is assholes.
Assholes. Category 1, how to ruin a character for no reason.
And who's on the runway in that category?
Franklin Richards.
Yeah, Dan Slott.
Dan
Slott,
Slott,
you're first.
Decided to do a twist of fate in the newest Fantastic Four issue, and he decided to choose that actually Franklin Richards just used his reality warping power to make himself a mutant. So now that he has lost his reality warping powers, he is no longer a mutant either.
Literally, genetic appropriation is where we took Franklin Richards.
Here's the thing, though. Why?
Why?
Like, why would you make a character less interesting? And if you remember, how many times has Franklin been deemed too powerful by a writer and depowered? A few times.
Oh, please. More times than Superman.
It's happened a few times. And so I'm just confused of, like, why he thinks it's interesting to take one of the most powerful people, mutants, on the planet and I'm not only going to depower them, I'm going to make them not a mutant. How does that make anything more interesting? If you're going to add a twist or a plot point, it needs to add intrigue, not take away intrigue. This is one of, I think this goes down as one of the dumbest plot moves I have ever encountered, ever. I'm very upset about this. And I think it will be retconned when the next writer takes over the Fantastic Four. I don't know. Who's the fucking editor of who's the main editor of Marvel that allowed this?
Are you kidding? It's Mr. Cultural Appropriation himself.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that's why he allowed it. Literally, I'm going to take on the traits of mutants to make myself more interesting, is where Dan Slott took Franklin Richards. I'd like to add this nuance to what shitty storytelling this is. Here you have a character that has been a young boy for most of its existence. Most of his existence, Franklin's been a little kid. You have this time slip where he grows up, and you have this world of interesting storytelling of a grown-up Franklin Richards and where you could take that character. Part of his growing up journey was finding this community and realizing that he is part of a marginalized community, and he's got this community telling him, we are your family just as much as your family. And there's a beautiful storyteller. That's a beautiful story. To strip that away, to strip away a coming-of-age story where somebody finds community, a community of freaks, why would you do that? That is the opposite of character
Especially
growth.
after there literally was just an entire... Why would you... There literally was X-Men and Fantastic Four, which he already had problems with. This literally renders that whole entire thing useless and pointless. And also, he's had powers ever since he was in the Power Pack, probably before he even knew what a mutant was. So it doesn't make sense.
I mean, there's so,
and then
Days of Future Past.
Where do his powers come from, then?
Yeah. Right.
How does he have
he's been
these
a mutant
powers?
for decades.
It's so stupid. I also hate the fact that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are not mutants and are not Magneto's kids. I had a problem with that as well. It's just like this weird thing of why? It feels mutant phobic to me.
It does feel mutant phobic.
If mutants were real, this would be this would be a hate crime.
It is a hate crime. It's a hate crime. Hate crime.
And it's mostly just a hate crime to storytelling. It's stupid.
It's a hate crime to my heart, is what it is.
Yeah, I don't even.
Thanks for nothing,
it.
Dan Slott. Way to ruin the fucking movie.
He's been known for not being has been kind of an asshole on social media, and he's not taking well the backlash that he's receiving. So
yeah,
whatever.
Hey, what a great segue to our second asshole, who is also an asshole on social media, so much so that she too has ruined a character, one she plays. We're looking at you, Gina Carano. I don't even know if that's her last name. I don't care enough to look it up.
This is interesting because I have a weird take on this. Gina Carano has now publicly gone full, she's joined Parler, she's a Trump supporter, she thinks the election has been rigged, and she's tweeting all about it. And now people are get this lunatic off The Mandalorian, get her off the show. And here's the thing is, do you think she will be fired?
No.
But here's the next question. Do you think simply being a Trump supporter, which makes you an idiot, no offense, is that enough to be fired? I feel unless she says something Trump racist supporting, something yeah, fuck those immigrants, I find it a hard reason to actually get rid of her. You know what I mean? Is that crazy?
Yeah, because we're still in a space where people are legitimizing this administration still. That we're playing this game of, oh yeah, that's just the other side. No, it's not the other side. It's an anti-democracy bunch of fucking Nazis who are trying to coup and overthrow the government and delegitimize a legitimate, in fact, the most secure election in history. It's not like I like Reagan over...
But here's the sad thing.
But we're still in a space where we're legitimized.
And I agree with that, but the sad thing is half the country believes that.
Exactly.
So
it's insane.
So are we able to just be like, if you are a Republican, half the country,
no,
are
right?
you now
we
excluded from being in anything? Like, it's a very, like, we're in this weird, fucked up situation. And I don't know, it seems very weird to be like, just because you're a Republican, does that mean you can't be in Hollywood? But now being a Republican basically means being a Nazi. And or so racist, what do you... Yeah, is being a racist Nazi. And so I don't...
being anti-democracy.
Yeah, so I do find it, I find it very tricky of like, how are you going to ride this? How is like Hollywood going to ride this? Do they have to take a side? Or are they just going to try and ride it out and ignore it? Because also, if you're Disney, can you really just say, hi, half the country, fuck you? Right. You can't. So how do you do it? What do you do?
Passage of time.
I just pray that once all of this falls apart and Trump is finally out, that I think Republicans are just doing this just for the Georgia vote.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm praying that once that happens, they'll let it go. But the other thing I'm thinking is I'm afraid Mitch McConnell might pull a, well, since your election is not real, we're not going to pass any of your, we will not vote for any of your, we'll not let you have a cabinet.
Absolutely.
We're
and you
literally
would have done that anyway.
Let you have a cabinet. We're not going to let you have anything. Oh, America.
I already got an email where it's like, we need you to help fund the transition. I'm like, what? Like, they won't give us access to the GSA funds for the transition, so we need to raise more money. What?
I know. It's so fucked up.
All right. Can we just move on to fucking Ten of Swords? I'm getting so angry.
All right, let's get a little Exy in here. Hit it.
I want your ass.
So, oh wait, hold on. Come on.
Oh, you stupid.
Did you call me a stoopy?
You stupid.
10 of Swords.
Ten of Swords.
Got some X-Force.
Chugging along. Yeah.
Hellions and Cable.
Yeah. Yeah.
10 of Swords is... Okay, and this is going to be offensive to you.
Okay.
There was a little moment that Billy Porter mentioned earlier that I'm going to mention earlier.
Oh.
Has Ryan Murphy taken over 10 of Swords?
Oh my god. Oh, that's perfect.
Because Ryan Murphy has a history of setting up a home run.
Oh, this is so
and then it turning into a total clusterfuck towards the end. And this is getting really messy in a way that A, doesn't make sense, and B, it's kind of making it like almost like a joke rather than, it's like this isn't a real contest anymore.
Okay. I want to hone in on that statement. So that was something I brought up. I did the Homo Superior X podcast this week as part of the Crossing Swords crossover. And I mentioned that while I love stories and shows that stay one step ahead of the audience and, and defy your expectations, what happens here with these mini games, with these little contests that aren't sword fights and that are done kind of tongue-in-cheek, is it creates a feeling of, does this not matter?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, it kind of doesn't matter. I felt better when they accounted for it all in that data page and you saw like what each competition was and who won.
But then why was it not right? Okay.
Yeah, there were errors in there.
Can you tell me one of the competitions is an eating contest? Yeah. What does it say in the image? It shows Cypher, Captain Britain, and is it Cable?
Yeah.
Winning the competition. Does it not say that they got the point?
It says that they got the point.
Then why in the data page does it say Red Route 1?
Yep.
Huh?
I know.
Like,
and there's typos everywhere in one of the data pages.
It literally Like, who let that slide? Like, who is there? Where are the editors? Yeah, just fucking, yeah, fuck Franklin Richards. Oh, is this supposed to make sense, Ten of Swords? Who? Hello? What's the editor's name? What's his name? Mr. I Want to Pretend to Be an Asian?
What? No, oh, C.B. Cebulski.
Oh, is that who we're talking about?
So the editor-in-chief of Marvel is not responsible for this. The editor of the X office is responsible for it, and that's Jordan D. White.
Jordan D. White? What is going on with you, Jordan D. White?
He's such a great guy. I don't care.
What does the D stand for? Douchebag? Come on. Come on. That being said, there's still some great writing. There's still some great moments. And I will say, but these little mini games were suddenly, I thought it was going to be 10 points. Whoever hits 10 wins. Now it's like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm like, huh? How many games is it? Oh, this person's going to fight in 5 games. This person's going to fight in 6 games. Saturnine is just fully cheating and making sure that Krakoa doesn't win some of them. It feels ridiculous. And it makes some of the more interesting ones, like when we get to Cable, where there's actual battles to the death, those are more powerful to me. And I'm like, they all should be like this. Not a fucking runway. A runway?
I don't agree. I don't want to see a gladiator-type sword fight 10 times in a row. Like, they nailed it with Storm. They nailed it with Gorgon. Loved those two. That's what I thought Ten of Swords was going to be.
I don't think it has to be. No, but here, I don't think it has to be a gladiator fight to the death. But I think it all should be a fight to the death. And I think it should have just been 10 battles.
Well, who cares what you think?
That would have been
That's
so
not
much
what
more
it
exciting.
is.
It would have been so much more exciting. A puzzle? Yeah. Oh, we did a puzzle? Oh, we have a map and we have to like figure out. It's fucking stupid. Oh, there's one where we have to walk in the movie Labyrinth staircases. Oh, what is it, Escher? We have to go be in an Escher drawing? This is stupid. If it was just like, okay, here it is. This is a game of chess. And the loser has to eat this poison pellet and die. Like, that's more interesting to me. There's no stakes. The stakes have been dropped.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The stakes are well done. Yeah. The worst way to have a
stakes are well done. I mean, you know, I choose to embrace the part of my brain that's like, this is fun. It's Laugh Olympics. Like, it's kooky. They look what they've been through together, all this stuff. I have a feeling like Araco mutants and Krakoa mutants are going to merge at the end and be friends.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Look at all this stuff they did together. I enjoy the womp womp of it.
I'm not happy. I also didn't understand the spelling contest thing.
Oh, it's a joke that the reason magic is spelled the way she spells it is because she thinks that's how you spell it.
Really? Okay, that's dumb.
I love that bit. I think that's hilarious.
Also, the part with the cat where in Merlin's realm they had to kill a cat and Captain Britain wouldn't kill the cat.
Captain Avalon.
Avalon, whatever. He wouldn't kill the fucking cat. Why would you not kill a cat? Oh, I'll let all of humanity die for a fucking cat. But I'll do an eating contest where I'm eating the brains of a troll.
Okay,
it makes
we get it.
No sense.
You don't like the comedic tone shift. You don't like it. I get it.
It's stupid.
I get it.
But now let's get to parts I do like.
Okay.
Here comes the battle of Storm. Storm and Wolverine had a drinking contest. Wolverine goes off he has to take Solemn's place to battle war. Who severs a hand first wins. Storm gets sent drunk to battle death.
Not just drunk, powerless. We love a powerless Storm in a night fight. And here's
the thing is, I wish she kind of referenced it, but it was just like, bitch, I went for years without my powers. Do you think I fucking need powers to battle you? Although it was the whole entire point, they kept emphasizing how her sword enhances her lightning powers. And then it's like, that didn't matter.
That's like a metaphor for the whole crossover, right? Like, we set up this thing, and then we're not going to use it.
And then here's, we finally get to see these like this alien world. And they're battling in the alien world.
Vampire world, Savalis.
And so I guess it was the first to draw blood, technically?
Yeah.
And we realize that it is a death sentence because they're all vampires. So as soon as they smell the blood,
Yeah.
they're going to come feasting.
I mean, that's the most badass end of a sword fight I've ever seen.
And basically, this battle becomes Clash of the Titans, ripping off Clash of the Titans, Battle of Medusa. Yep. Oh, someone has a death stare. How do you beat him?
Reflections
of the way things supposed to be.
Reflections of your face. Do you notice that she carves a little heart into the smoke for him to see his reflection through?
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I love her.
And she fucking stabs the fuck out of him.
She fucking stabs the fuck out of him. She sure does.
And then she's like, well, he's bleeding, isn't he? Like,
go ahead.
Have
Get
a
on
taste.
it.
He
Get on
gets
it, vampires.
fully eaten. And here's error number 576 of Ten of Swords.
Yep.
In the next issue in Cable, where it does the death count,
yes,
it doesn't say the death is dead.
Well, maybe he's not. Although he is fully eaten.
He's being fully digested.
Maybe he's coming back as a vampire.
Yeah. I feel like once you're half eaten, it's too late. All right, whatever.
That's not how it works.
Okay, let's move on to my favorite issue of the whole goddamn thing. Of like, I feel like Sinister has risen up the ranks, and it's probably now in my top 5 X-Men characters of all time.
Oh my god.
He's amazing.
So, Hellions number 6, I think, I'm going to say it. It's a contender for best comic book issue of the year.
Yeah, it's kind of like everything I was having a problem with. It was like, who gives a shit? And this is the thing of where you take something where your expectations and then you thwart them. It fucking works. Because here's the thing, Sinister, they are on this long battle to steal the swords. They finally get to Araco, and they're like, oh, the battle's been going on.
This shit started
Like,
already.
this shit started. And it turns out Sinister could not give a fuck. He didn't care. He didn't care about any of that. All
he's
he
not
wanted,
why he's there.
He just wants the mutant DNA of these Araco mutants for him to play with.
And
Brilliant.
you're like,
Of course.
Of course he does.
Brilliant.
Of course he does. Yes.
And we'd learned that fucking Havoc has lost an eye.
Oh god, the comedy. Oh, the comedy.
Horse is dying. The horse they stole from Saturnine is dying. Everyone is miserable. Empath
Zeb
wants to lift Greycrow, but he knows he'll be murdered. Like,
Zeb Wells uses this time slip as like the funniest. Like, he really uses that device really well. Of like, okay, they've had a whole journey that we're not going to show you, but we are going to show you what it's done to them.
The interesting thing is, who does Sinister battle? The kind of his counterpart.
Kind of like another dark reflection of another character.
The Araco version of Sinister.
Yeah.
Where his mutant power is to mutate the mutants into like different type of powerful beings.
And boy does he. We're talking about Locus Vile, this 5-6 mutants that destroy the Hellions.
Yeah, and that's where... So, is Nanny dead?
So,
we Nanny dead?
We argued this on the other show. This is not Otherworld. This is Araco, which is on the other
this
side.
isn't Dry... Oh, I thought it was like Dryasdor.
No, because Cable fights in Dryador later.
Okay.
This is straight up Araco.
Oh, okay. So then that means they can be brought back.
Yeah, so this is Amenth.
Oh, okay. My thing that also confused me is it seems like he was
hope.
painstakingly trying to get them through the gate before they all get killed. Spoiler.
Oh, shit. That's right. Like, doesn't Greycrow say, better get through that gate?
Yes.
Fuck. I don't want Nanny and Orphan Maker to be dead.
Oh, wait a minute. But they are not in Araco anymore. They went through another gate. Didn't they go through a second gate?
Holy
where the
fucking
Otherworld
shit.
people were waiting for them?
Oh, yes.
They
You're
do.
right.
Okay, yes. So I think...
yes. Okay, so Nanny dies on Araco.
I think Nanny is safe.
She's... Thank God.
It's a little complicated. But guess what? It all makes sense. I'm not pissed off. And then they all get they get a fucking, Orphan Maker has his arms ripped off. Havoc loses an eye.
And his hands.
Oh, Havoc loses his hands, gets his hands fucking chopped off. At this point, I was like, he's gonna die. Like, I was like, they're not gonna leave Havoc eyeless and handless.
Little did we know. They're all gonna die.
And there's all of this huge battle. Of course, Sinister releases his little drones, collects his DNA, and then Psylocke...
Of the Locust Vial, yeah.
Psylocke has to leave Wild Child to die.
Well, she, forces him to die.
Yeah.
To buy them time.
And then Sinister also doesn't make it.
Yeah, he's killed.
But if we read the earlier issue, that didn't matter because the Sinister... we already know there's two Sinisters, and they kind of already knew the Sinister that was going to go was probably not going to make it back.
Yeah, so he got the cape.
But who is waiting? Who's waiting in the realms as they pass through the gates back to Krakoa is Sinister waiting
Other
there.
Sinister.
Is the Sinister that didn't go on the mission, just flat out murders them all.
He murders Psylocke, he murders Havoc, and then the thing he does to Greycrow, he pushes a button and Greycrow decomposes, which is so Sinister's had control of these marauders all along.
Yes. It's interesting that he chose to kill each of them in a different way.
Yeah.
Which
so
just shows how fucking psychopathic he is, but also smart of where he's like, this isn't an assassination. This is oh, look, they were in battle.
Yeah.
And, fucking, what's his nuts? Poor empath finally makes it through the thing and then just fucking, how does he die?
Greycrow, disemboweled him.
Oh, so he just died from
Otherworld.
Oh, so he just died from the stabbing that Greycrow did. Sinister didn't do that.
Greycrow stabbed him in Avalon and said, "Better get through that gate before you die."
And this was actually gonna be my potential if we did a different beginning. If we didn't do the runway beginning, he's la da 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 da, like he's just humming to himself, murdering them, and then he's like, "There we are," and now,
someone,
oh my sweet holy God, help! There's been a terrible attack.
You reminded me of Sally Field in Soap Dish. I don't know why.
Yes,
just able to turn it on.
I love it.
Love it. So good. So good. I mean, this issue, it was terrifying. The Locust Vial was terrifying. It was hilarious. It was suspenseful, surprising.
There were stakes.
It had stakes, and there were heartbreaking moments, like with Psylocke and Wild Child.
Yes.
Fantastic. God.
It was so good. It was so fucking good. And I'm telling you right now, it continues on in Cable, where they all still think fucking Sinister is on their side. Like, they fucking need to...
This is what's killing me. So, it's not until Sinister shows back up at the Quiet Council, and they have all those scenes, and I'm like, are Xavier and Magneto really just sitting around during this whole thing? Like, the Quiet Council is just at their desks, just waiting. I'm like, really? That's the part that drives me nuts. Is like, really? Xavier,
and we only have 3
just
issues left.
Chilling?
And the fucking Cerebro Sword still hasn't shown up.
It's insane. I don't know.
And we get a good jab at Kitty Pryde's fashion sense.
Sinister reads Kitty for filth, and Emma knows it's a read and will not have any part of it. 'Cause she knows.
Well, that motion is regrettably seconded.
And then we go to Dryador, and we get the Cable's fight against Bay the Blood Moon.
And just like a kid, he basically, I feel like this is kind of like a Game of Thrones where it's what's the big guy, that battle with the gay guy, the bisexual guy, and
the Mountain and the Viper,
where he gets a little cocky.
Yeah.
And then
He was doing good, but then you got cocky.
Yeah. And gets his arm all fucked up, and she's about to kill him, but her husband, so weird to say that.
Oh my God.
Her husband, but can she understand him?
Well, he does kind of. You know what? I don't know. Does she understand? She seems to understand other people.
Yeah, so it's like he just can't understand her. And she allows Cable to live, which I think is kind of lame. I for a second thought they were gonna kill Cable, and then it was gonna like rear old Cable coming back. And then, like a whiny bitch, he psychically reaches out to his mom and dad.
He's a
This is
kid.
sweet. No, it's sweet. He's very like, I'm trying to do it.
There was an icicle, and it fell, and it hit me. My favorite panel of X of Swords is absolutely, I forget her name, but it was Doug's large wife. Jean's face.
She's like, wait, what?
Jean. Oh,
What are we
Jean.
missing?
Oh, the faces Jean has been making during the Dawn of X era.
And then Saturnine snaps her fingers, severs the connection. And Jean and Cyclops are like, look, hello, they didn't send us. Like, we're the two that fix everything.
Right.
Why did they not send us to fix this fucking thing? Let's go do it. So
I
I'm
loved
like,
this
yeah,
moment.
you go fucking, they kiss each
loved
other,
it.
go fix it. Also, it's like, hey, both of your guy's husband is out there fighting. Don't forget it.
like-
We know you're in a throuple. Don't even start.
That's right. And this is what I'm talking about. Like Xavier, like Jean and Scott are like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we need to go, like, try to help. Like, this is what I'm talking about, Xavier. Like, you're just la 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 la, sitting around, checking my email. I don't get it. Anyway, then the Gorgon fight, which was the other best part of this whole thing.
So Gorgon, and this is one where it's like, I don't know Gorgon. I don't have any stakes on whether he lives or dies. But this was written very, like, this is my problem where I like this type of thing going on than a fucking puzzle piece, one-panel puzzle piece minigame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to reserve judgment on the pacing of this story until I can sit down and read the whole thing. Like, I'm curious if the minigames read more as a blip in relation to the overall story when you're reading it in one fell swoop.
Yeah. So let's talk about Gorgon's battle. He has to battle the White Sword. And the White Sword is actually like, before you can battle me, you have to battle the 100 men I resurrect every day.
Yeah.
And which is interesting. And my question though is, why does it looks like he's being slaughtered, or is he slaughtering them? It looks like, why does it stop before all the 100 die?
He's near death.
Okay.
And War actually says, enough of this, just finish him.
Okay.
And White Sword is like, fine.
And the reason War is so pissed off is Saturnine, who we think is on the side of Arakko the whole time, suddenly is like, no, it's fight to the death. He's killed 18 people, so that's 18 points. So everything has been evened up. And that's a twist I like. Like, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And in the end, he just kind of... Well, I mean, his eyes are gouged out. He basically says, I don't want to be your slave. So White Sword just kills him and doesn't
resurrect him.
Doesn't resurrect him.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is he could resurrect him and just not like he did to Cypher.
Right?
At this point, it's like fucking... That's sour grapes.
Yeah, maybe he will.
We'll
Maybe
see. Will
he
Gorgon
will.
come back? I think there is a possibility of Gorgon still could come back. But
I'm
I like
just
that
hoping
he
for
died.
Nanny.
I mean, we all
Yeah.
thought that
Yeah, we saw
Gorgon...
it.
No one thought Gorgon was going to make it out of this.
Right.
He was the
But the
fucking
way
red
he
shirt
died-
the whole entire time.
Yeah, but the way he died was great.
Yes.
great.
And now this leads up for the battle of...
Annihilation,
or Genesis versus...
and Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. And I do think this is going to be... I think this is going to... This has the potential to turn the tide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of, like... I have a feeling like this might be... The outcome of this battle might be what causes the Araco people and the Krakoa people to team up. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. Yep.
Like, maybe they're going to start making out at the end. Like, they're going to, like, start fucking instead of... Maybe they'll become lovers instead of fighters.
Yeah, I mean, maybe somehow they'll figure out how to like, all take it to Annihilation or Amenth instead of each other.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm still waiting for Moira to show up.
Yeah.
So next week is it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And just to let you know, here in Contest of Plates in Cable, it is still said that Krakoa wins. So I'm still confused as to what that contest was really about.
Contest of the Plates, Krakoa. Oh, so Mojo's agent got it wrong.
That's what we're saying?
I mean, that's what it was. Mojo's report that said Araco won.
All right. Fine.
Ooh, what if that was on purpose and Mojo has got a mole who's giving him misinformation?
Well, that's a lot of X-Men
I'm gonna
stuff.
email Jordan D. White. That is a lot of X-Men stuff. We're gonna have X-Men stuff coming up later because I saw New Mutants finally, and I want to talk about it. In fact, now that all of the Fox X-Men movies are said and done, New Mutants being the last one, I think at the end of the show we should rank our personal rankings.
A
of the
ranking
X-Men movies.
20 years in the making.
Oh, I love it. Epic. But first, we got a few other comic books to talk about.
What else did you read? Oh, yeah, hit it.
You gotta get a comic if you wanna get ahead.
What else did I read?
Yeah.
I read Marvel Voices, Indigenous Voices. If you remember, Marvel Voices did a Creators of Color one-shot. Creators of Color telling stories of characters of color. And this is Indigenous Voices, so Indigenous American creators writing Indigenous American characters.
Did, I know Mirage is featured in this.
She is.
By any chance, do they address how problematic her power set and outfits are at the moment?
So, not the outfits, and is that problematic, really? Yeah?
I just feel like at this point, I don't know, it does feel more like, I don't know, I guess that's the thing, maybe this is what it needs, is something of her embracing it. Right now it feels more like a costume rather than her embracing her heritage, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, the total... I want to mention the art by Jeffrey Verege. It's fantastic. He's
and I didn't read
an
this,
Indigenous
by the way,
artist.
so I'm just,
yes,
you
I know.
have to fill it all in.
Yes, I'm telling you about it. So the art is amazing. There's 3 stories. There's an Echo story, a Mirage story, and a Silver Fox story.
Okay.
And the Echo story is by Rebecca Roanhorse, and the Silver Fox
is
story...
Echo deaf?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So the Echo story is weird. It's Loki. So Carol Danvers takes Echo to an alien planet this alien planet is under siege by like a godlike figure, and she brings Echo to fight this god. But then Carol Danvers is really Loki, and Loki brought Echo to fight this alien god for some reason. She does. She beats the god, and Loki's like, and now you're ready for what's next. I don't know.
What's next?
I don't know.
All right. Well, to TBD.
TBD. There's a Silver Fox story by Stephen Graham Jones, and it's a flashback story of Silver Fox. Evidently, Silver Fox had a wolf, because it's the story of her getting this wolf, and then later
is Silver Fox's? Is she from the Avengers mostly?
No, Weapon X.
Oh, okay.
It's Wolverine's love from Weapon X.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So evidently this wolf was a character in like early Wolverine books from like the 90s, because they flash forward to like moments where this wolf pup that she takes grows up, and they all have like little footnotes that's like, in Wolverine number 49 from 1998. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's the story of how Silver Fox got this wolf. I dig it.
Okay.
But here's so Darcy Little Badger is the writer of Mirage. The title is Mirage: Multifaceted. And here's what you'll like. First of all, it's only Danny and Rain.
Love it.
Love it, which we'll talk about when we get to the movie.
It's only Danny and Rain in the movie, too. What?
Uh-huh. And then the reason it's called Multifaceted, Evil Jeff, is because throughout this story, Mirage uses all of her powers. She uses animal rapport, she uses fear, she uses desire, and she uses psychic arrows.
And this is taking place now?
Yes.
So she has all of her powers now?
All of these powers. Yes.
Fucking thank God. Jesus Christ. Took long enough.
It's a beautiful book. Yeah. So I recommend reading the Mirage story. It might appeal to you.
Okay, great. I love it.
What are you reading?
I read something called Something is Killing the Children.
Oh my God! So did I. Actually, I'm realizing now I did not read number 12. Fuck!
Oh, Jesus. It starts getting intense.
Tell me about it.
Well, we last left the children, where everyone in the town basically saw the invisible monster rip a little girl in half, and they're all locked in the gym. The main girl, Erica Slaughter, and what's the gay dude?
I can never remember his name. Let's say Brian.
Brian, the gay teenage dude that kind of started all of this, literally. I'll get to that in a second. They're trapped in a car trying to escape, and the monsters are there. When it picks up the next issue, they are where the little girl Bian, I think her name is.
Bian, yeah.
Bian, they're where the guy who kind of took her away. They're at his, where he's hiding out. And Erica's like been bit by the monster because they battled him trying to escape.
Oh, fuck.
And so she's patching herself up, and she's like, look, we need to get her, like... And then they were going through it, and she's like, we need to do this. And he's like, I'm not going to help you. And she's like, you have to understand the white... what was it called? The white... not the white people. From the Erica Slaughter's cabal that she's in.
Yeah, the white room or the black room.
The white room people. She's like, they're coming, and they are more concerned with making sure that this story doesn't get out than saving everyone, a.k.a. they're going to kill everybody. And he's like, oh no, all right, I'll help you. And then basically she starts talking to both of them, and you hash it out, and it turns out actually it is it's the boy. He actually kind of wished the monster into being.
What?
And it's
because
actually...
It's his homosexuality?
Well, it's the thing of, like, the monsters, like, it's kind of, like, similar to the Department of Truth. It's, like, once you start getting people to believe in it, it feeds on that belief. And he's the one that actually started, like, telling people, like, ooh, there's a monster in the forest. And then other people started saying it, and it caused it to, like, form.
Oh, wow.
And so the kid is like, it's my fault. And he's freaking out. And she's like, it's not just your fault. There had to be all these other things going on for this to happen. It's just one part of it. Don't blame yourself. But then the main woman shows up and she's like, oh, he is at fault. And it's all fucked up. And basically she just slits the guy's throat who was there taking care of Beyond or whatever her name is. And she's basically like, it's time. I'm going to kill everybody. And it ends with her basically like, it's time for all of you to die. And you're like, ah!
Oh my god. Something is killing the adults, too.
Yeah. Something's killing
lady?
Everything. But once again, I can't wait. This is, I mean, if someone does not pick this up for...
It is already picked up. It's going to be a show, I think.
But who does, where? Amazon or who?
I don't know.
It has to be, because this is like, this will be a huge hit.
Because it's good.
It's so fucking good. And I also read one you told me about, which is gay. All of these are gay, 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 gay.
And it's also Boom Studios, just like Something is Killing the Children.
It's called, wait, what is it called? We only
find them when they're dead.
Yes. And Brett talked about it a bit, and I was like...
It's Al Ewing.
Yeah. I was like, I have to read this. And I did, and it is a very different space cowboy type.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the space cowboy, like Scavengers. It's
Yes.
that trope, but it's told in a very different way. And it really is just told in this very cramped,
Yeah.
claustrophobic, everyone is just in these tiny, tiny spaceships that are only have like 4 to 1 people, like one person's in this one, 4 people are in this one. And it's just great. It's basically like gods exist, but they've only been able to find gods when they're dead. And they basically, scavengers come and they take parts of the body, but it's run by this kind of galaxy-run government, decides who can take what. And one of the government, like, watchers has it out for the main guy who's gay.
On the autopsy ship. Yeah. And his want is that he wants to see a live god.
Yeah, and all of them, because all of them are just like, this is our lives are kind of awful, like existence is kind of awful. Fuck it, let's go find a live god. And this one government person, she killed his parents, and basically is just waiting for an excuse to kill him too, because apparently her parents basically mutilated her, and she lost a lot of her limbs because of them. So she's just in full revenge mode. And this latest issue, do you want to pick it up? I feel like I'm doing all the...
No, this latest issue, when we last saw our heroes on the autopsy ship, the 4 of them, they escaped into a portal, essentially, into warp speed to find a live god. And this officer, who is dead set on revenge against our ship's captain, followed them. So it's a chase. This issue is essentially a chase.
And here's the amazing thing: is the majority of this issue is them in warp speed, and because they're going the speed of light, they can't shoot a laser because it won't reach them. But they know that as soon as they go out of warp speed,
they're dead.
They're dead. So it's like this weird, like them trying to calculate and talking to each other, of like what can we do? It's just this like it was all strategy. I felt like I was just like watching a chess game. Like it was kind of brilliant.
It's kind of brilliant in that I love that you said it's very claustrophobic. Like here's this story set in the vastness of space and beyond. There's like a god realm that they're, trying to get to. But everything is told in this very claustrophobic, these tight quarters. Yet we're able to feel the momentum of the warp drive, the tension of the dogfight that's happening. Despite being in these little tiny compartments, experiencing the story. And the story is also very personal.
Yes. There's like, because it looks like the 4 people, it's a brother and sister. It's, and then the main guy, the captain, the quartermaster looks like it's like his best friend.
Yeah.
And she's known him since he was like, for like years. And then there's a brother and sister, and and then who's the engineer, and then the girl is what does she do?
I
What's the
forget.
sister do?
Yeah, I forget.
Oh, I think she's anyway, whatever she does. But the engineer, the brother, he's lovers with the captain.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's just a lot of stakes going on, and the way they try to get out of this is like, oh, if we can stop at a place with a lot of gravity, let's stop there, and we will and it will buy us like some time. We only have a few seconds, and they end up stopping, and they stop at a god.
A dead god, another dead god.
But this one is different. He's like, it's a lot larger. He's like, by the time they get to our galaxy, they look a lot different. And the reason it looks different is because this god is not dead.
She wakes up.
She wakes up. But it looks like it ends with like the best friend getting shot.
Yeah, it looks like the government agent lady gets into their ship when they are stopped at this god, and she might kill the sister or the engineer.
Yeah. No, not the engineer. The engineer's the gay lover. The
quartermaster.
quartermaster.
Yes.
The
The quartermaster. Yes.
Which I love. I was like, why is she called the quartermaster? I'm like, oh, she literally just chops up the meat. She's basically a butcher. She just chops up the meat for them to eat. They're just eating god meat.
Yummy.
This is great.
Yeah, it's good comic books, Boom Studios.
And it's
You're
so
really
different.
killing it.
It's so different.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's like the storytelling is different. The drawings go perfectly with it. It's very
art is
rarely
different.
it's very rarely that I'm reading something where I'm like, I haven't read a story like this in a while. It's very refreshing.
Yeah, it's Simone DeMeo is the artist. It's
Love
very
it.
good. Yep.
It's amazing. Have you read anything else?
No, enough about comic
Me
books.
neither.
I did watch a movie called New Mutants.
Hit it.
Someone who'll watch superhero sci-fi stuff with me.
Okay. I saw New Mutants in a drive-in theater, so I had that joyous kind of experience. Did that experience of me in the middle of the pandemic, my first time going out, being with a bunch of people that just wanted to see it, did that affect, because I love this movie. Did that, but now you probably just watched it at home.
I watched it at home.
Does that mean you hated the movie?
Well, I watched it at home with my good friend in Chicago over Zoom, who is also an X-Men freak. So it was both of our first time seeing New Mutants. And this is someone who, when I lived in Chicago, we were there opening night of every Marvel movie, every superhero movie to come out. So we would have seen New Mutants together if were not for the pandemic and for not me moving. So we watched it together, and...
What did you think?
Evil Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No.
But I loved it.
Yay! And
I loved it.
People got angry. Like, when I put that I loved it on Instagram, people were like, are you fucking for real? This is fucking garbage. And I was
Why is it garbage? Like, it was a simple, kind of like teen horror.
I think people went
light.
into it thinking it was going to be like an X-Men movie. And then we're kind of like, what is this?
It was fun. It was fine. It was like so the misfires on casting the proper race for Sunspot and for Cecilia Reyes is valid and important. And I want to recognize that before I gush over this movie.
I do. And as I said before, I honestly feel it was probably more a mistake of, by the time this got to casting,
Yeah.
there was a mistake. It was someone just put Brazilian and someone just put Latino. And so they forgot to put Black Latino and
Afro-Brazilian.
and
yeah.
Afro-Brazilian. So I think it was, and by
But
the time...
Ultimately,
people
somebody
were like,
should have checked that.
Exactly. But I don't think it was a purposeful, like, we don't want a black. You know what I mean?
No, you
I don't
heard what the
think-
director said. Josh Boone, he was like, I cast somebody who people would think could be affluent in terms of Sunspot. So fuck that guy.
Well, that
it was a
director-
shitty call.
That director's a fucking idiot.
It wasn't a mistake. It was bullshit.
And I honestly don't believe that. I feel like he was trying to over-defend it, and it just made it worse. And here's the thing. I'm just going to tell this right now. when people call you out for racism, for not representing people properly, here's the deal. All the group wants when they get mad, they don't want to boycott you. They just want you to be like, you know what? I'm sorry.
I fucked
should
up.
have
I'm
tried
sorry.
better.
Yeah.
That's all they want.
Why is that so hard for people?
Case in point, this guy made it worse. Another person who just made it worse, Sia. Did you hear what she did?
Oh, the nonverbal autistic character?
Yeah. All she had to
No.
do was like, I'm sorry. And that would have been over with. Instead, she's like, well, maybe autistic people can't act good enough. And
she's
now
dumb.
a movie she made for the autistic community is now
considered
being
garbage.
completely
Yeah.
boycotted by the autistic
Taboo.
community because of a tweet. Because how stupid. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you are so stupid. You just say, I'm sorry, I should have tried better, and then you will try better. That's all you have to really do.
That's it. Not hard.
Instead, people double down.
Yeah.
People just
Yeah.
want to double down.
God
And
forbid
that's where-
people are not
and that's
right.
where I get mad where people are like on the right, people are like, oh, this cancel culture is like ruining us. And I would say the majority of the people that are ruining cancel culture is by people doubling down when they are called out on stuff.
Yes.
If they can just react to it the correct way,
Just
you will
relent,
not
show
be
some humility.
canceled.
Yes.
Fucking the girl who is on Search Party and Arrested Development.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. She recently got in trouble because an old interview came up where she quoted a Drake lyric that had the N-word in it. What did she do? She apologized. That was stupid of me. I realize now that was dumb. I shouldn't do that. I'm not going to do that again. And then it was no longer a story and no one cared.
And you can watch Search Party with impunity.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like, it's not hard. Why is saying
all right.
I'm sorry so hard? Okay, sorry, New Mutants. But
Talking
now
about
let's
the
talk about the New Mutants, how great it is.
All the characters felt like those characters.
It was so on point. And
It
the
was
girl
them.
and the girl who's now in The Queen's Gambit, which is a Netflix show that's
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Anna Taylor-Joy, like, she needs to be magic forever.
She was so good. Do you understand that she's in my holy trinity of actresses? My new holy trinity of actresses?
Who's in the other? Is she the God? Is she Jesus or the Holy Spirit?
Oh, I don't know what any of that means. Me and my friends who I saw New Mutants with, we agreed that the Holy Trinity are Anna Taylor-Joy, Jessica Roth from Happy Death Day, and oh my God, Anna Taylor-Joy, Jessica Roth, and Samara Weaving from The Babysitter. And Ready or
So
Not.
it's not. It's a holy trinity of like blonde actresses.
It's a holy trinity of I'll watch anything they're in, except Utopia on Amazon Prime, which sucks, and Jessica Roth is in it, and that's a shame.
Is Keanu Reeves in that?
No, John Cusack?
John Cusack. Why did I mix those two up?
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah,
I
that
couldn't
looks
get through
awful.
it.
That looks
It's awful. It's awful. Okay, New Mutants. Sam, I was worried. Totally felt like Sam Guthrie. I loved Patrick Keaton as Sam Guthrie. The dude that plays Sunspot, super hot.
So hot.
Anna Taylor-Joy is like, she is so perfect.
It's perfection. It's
She's
one of
so
the most perfect
perfect.
characters in the X-Men universe ever created.
And I thought,
which
what's
is
her
why
name,
I was like,
Blue-
even if the rest of the movie was awful, I still would be. It's kind of like she is the literal opposite of X-Men First Class Emma Frost. What's her name?
Right. Yeah, January Jones.
January Jones is the literal opposite of like literally
Yeah,
the
'cause
worst
she
choice.
emotes.
Like awful. She was so good in it.
She's perfect. But let me tell you something. Blue Cantrell, no, wwhat's her name? That plays Danny Moonstar. She was
Yeah.
fine. I thought she was fine.
She's fine, but she's not the best actress.
No, she wasn't.
I felt her acting
but
was the weakest link.
I thought the strongest link was it Macy Williams
So good.
as Rain. That's my favorite part of the movie. Wolfsbane was my favorite part. Rain was my favorite part. I loved her to death. I loved her. She was sweet. She was tender. She was Rain Sinclair. I loved it.
Yeah. She had
a
all
Scottish
of the trauma, all the trauma that Rain is known for.
She
but
ate her
add
dad.
in lesbian love.
And lesbian love.
It's a
I was
lesbian
give
fucking
me
love story.
Lesbians in my X-Men movies.
Yes!
God damn.
It's great. And the way it made Mirage's powers. Like, Danny Moonstar's powers were awesome. They
So,
were
one thing
a
I
fucking
missed.
horror movie.
Okay, so big spoiler here. Lockheed, for fuck's sake, is in the movie.
Yes.
How did Lockheed come to life? Like, I blinked and I missed it.
I think it was part of Danny Moonstar's. No, it was either. No, wait.
She
I'm
went to
trying think.
limbo.
No, she
Like,
went to limbo. I think. It was that Lockheed was in limbo the whole time.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they're also kind of referencing that limbo is something that she created.
She created.
So I have a feeling when she was in limbo, she created she created Lockheed.
Yeah.
She created all of those things.
So this movie magic is a lot more powerful than regular Ileana.
And you
she's
know who
like
else is
creating
insanely
worlds.
powerful?
Cecilia
Reyes.
Yeah, with a
very
shield around the
powerful.
whole hospital.
Yeah, she has a shield around the whole hospital that they can't escape from.
Yeah.
And she can't
Listen.
even teleport out of it.
Listen, I loved it.
I thought it was great because it literally was like part horror movie. And it was part... the only thing I would have loved is I would have wished they pushed it, made it hard R, and made it even scarier.
Yeah, I would have.
You know what I mean? And the thing that I had the biggest problem with is the dickhead of the movie, the director. I felt if you gave this to the guy who did Aquaman and The Conjuring...
Yeah.
If he directed this movie and gave it that horror movie suspense chill, it would have been a masterpiece.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things just in the direction where I felt like the scariness was like not used to its full advantage, which was just not the fault of the script, not the fault of the actors, it was the fault of the direction. So that director can go fuck himself.
Who even knows how many cuts that movie went through over the course of it?
Well, I think in the end they just ended up just going with, all right, here, we're doing this one.
Yeah.
But I felt it was everything that I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And how can you hate that? So if you hate the New Mutants movie...
You hate the New Mutants.
Well, it's also then like, what, did you think Dark Phoenix was better?
Oh, I can't wait to get to my rankings.
Well, I think that's a segue into it.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone beyond and in between, we are going to rank all the X-Men movies, including New Mutants.
And so just to make sure we're on the same page, you had 13 of them, correct?
I have 12.
You have 12? Do you have both? Do you have all 3 Wolverine movies?
Yeah. Oh, I'm missing First Class.
Oh, okay.
One moment. I know exactly where I put that.
Add that in there. First Class is traumatizing for me. I was so upset by January Jones, I got into the worst car accident of my life driving home from that movie.
Oh my God. Okay, now I'm good.
Like, I literally flipped my car over on the 101 and almost died.
Yeah.
Thank you, January Jones. I should sue her.
You should. Just for that performance.
All right,
you ready?
So, number 13.
So we're each going to do our numbers, right?
Yes, so who do you have at number 13? Last place.
Okay, so number 13, and therefore the worst X-Men movie ever made. I've got Dark Phoenix, friends, because that was the most boring thing I've ever seen. It has an action sequence of the X-Men trying to cross the street. It was grounded in nothing. It forgot what had been established in the movie before it. It was the most lifeless. I've never not connected with a movie so much in my life, and this is literally about my favorite story on the fucking planet. And I had zero connection to it.
I did not have Dark Phoenix last. And it's because this one, it's almost a cheat. Because this movie seemed so bad, it's the only one I didn't see. The Wolverine.
Oh.
The second Wolverine one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
We'll get to it.
So I'm just going to put it in last place. Because guess what? If you can't even get me interested to see your movie because it looks dumb, I'm just gonna put it in last place, and I have no qualms about it.
I would argue then that it's actually the first one that belongs in last place because that's the one that ruined all future. But I respect your decisions.
Okay.
All right. So number 12, continuing on my theme of just don't, if you can't do Dark Phoenix, don't fucking do it. Number 12 is X-Men 3: The Last Stand. I have never been so heartbroken from a movie before. At least I knew what to expect with Dark Phoenix. I went into X-Men 3 thinking that they were going to continue that beautiful momentum from the second one. And I watched as life unraveled before my eyes.
And this is why I have X-Men Last Stand. What you just said is why I have X-Men Last Stand as number 12 and Dark Phoenix as number 11. Because I expected Dark Phoenix to be bad. X-Men Last Stand was like a knife in my heart. And that is why I put X-Men Last Stand as worse than Dark Phoenix. Because that was like a fucking knife in my heart. Dark Phoenix, I went in like, this is going to be bad. All right, it was bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I had to put X-Men
3.
Last Stand worse. Fuck you, Brett.
X-Men
Ratner.
3, I sat there in disbelief after the movie was over. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah. How do you make Dark Phoenix stupid and uninteresting?
I don't know. How do you make Wolverine stupid and uninteresting? Well, my number 11 movie, X-Men Origins Wolverine, did a great job of that.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad. And honestly, that's, as I said, Dark Phoenix is 11. My X-Men's Wolverine is number 10.
Yeah.
And that is probably the reason I didn't watch the other Wolverine movie. Because it was so bad.
Well, my number 10 is actually The Wolverine. The Wolverine is a better movie than X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I wouldn't know because Origins Wolverine ruined it. Deadpool?
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds? Even he had to kill
it.
himself. Even he had to murder himself going on.
So
but I will
bad.
say, I mean, as I kind of suspected, our top 4 worst movies are the same.
I want to tell you this, though, on The Wolverine. It's actually pretty good.
I should rewatch it.
You should watch it. Yukio is great.
Love me some Yukio.
The
I love
only
Yukio
thing...
Storm more than Yukio Wolverine.
Yeah. The only thing truly god-awful about The Wolverine
The effects.
is Viper.
Oh, okay.
It is like they stuck a cartoon... Like, what's a movie where, like, everyone's real but there's one cartoon character? It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like... It's this pretty grounded, pretty good kind of samurai movie, and then there's this snake lady popping around everywhere. It's there's a lot of disconnect happening.
All right. Well, who do you have at number 9?
Number 9 is mostly for Oscar Isaac. My number 9 is X-Men Apocalypse.
That's my number 9 too.
God, what a shitty movie.
Just, I mean, oh my God.
It's so boring, but my only thing is, like, at least it's got a lot of characters in it.
Yes, but I also will say, for me, a thing that can destroy a movie is if they betray a favorite character of mine. And they betrayed Psylocke. They made her powers make no sense and so stupid.
And Olivia Munn said that Bryan Singer didn't even know who Psylocke was.
Yeah. Then fucking read a comic, you fucking pedophile.
Ugh. It is nonsense garbage. Like, no one has anything to do in that movie.
Yeah.
But it does establish that Jean Grey has the Phoenix inside her, which then Dark Phoenix totally disregarded. And she got it in space. Okay.
I know. That's like... Let's just not even pay attention to the last movie. Like, whatever. This was also the one where it's just like the fact that Jennifer Lawrence won an Oscar kind of ruined the evolution of Mystique.
Yeah.
So, like, let's just make her a good guy, which she never was.
And she then was like, I don't want to have to wear the makeup. And they were like, okay.
Yeah.
We'll figure out ways that you don't have to. It's real bad. So that was your number 9.
Number 8. I have a feeling this is going to be different. My number 8 was X-Men First Class.
That is also my number.
Oh, wow. And that
Yeah.
is, I would say 90% of it is January Jones.
January Jones, you can go to hell. Also,
I mean,
these
and
movies
it's-
never
and
should have been
it's-
made.
And it's an abortion of a performance.
It's so bad. It's so insulting. It is so joyless. Also, these movies never should have been made. The whole McAvoy, Fassbender, like, thank goodness for Days of Future Past. Like, that was the only good that came out of all of this.
Yeah, well, Days of Future Past was where, even though I hate Bryan Singer, at least he was like, let me try and make sense of some of this, and then he fucked it all up in Apocalypse. But, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, we should say that we've taken Bryan Singer out of the equation doing.
Oh, I
these
didn't.
rankings.
I didn't, I will explain that later on. Because I had all right, well, I'll explain it later on.
Okay, I love it. Number 7.
Number 7, I put Days of Future Past.
Oh, interesting. I put Deadpool 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love
Why-
these Deadpool movies, because I love the Deadpool movies, so
Yeah.
I put them a bit higher up. Days of Future Past, I would say at this point now, I love all these movies. So it's not even like, oh, this was a bad movie, that's why it's a number 7. This is now just splitting hairs. I just like the other ones better. I love Days of Future Past. I think
Yeah.
the opening scenes with Blink and Warpath and Halle Berry Storm, just even the like Wolverine, Naked Wolverine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good in this movie.
There is a lot of good. In fact, I think our lists are similar in that we like numbers 1 through 7. We don't like numbers 8 through 13.
Yes, yes. What do
I
you have
love
for
Deadpool 2.
Oh yeah, what do you have for numbers? What do you have then for number 6?
Number 6, I have the New Mutants.
Number 6, I have the New Mutants.
Yay!
So does that mean number 5? Do you have Days of Future Past?
No, number 5, I have Deadpool.
Oh, okay. Number 5, I have Deadpool 2.
Deadpool movies are great.
Yes. It's just so
Deadpool
enjoyable.
2, Deadpool 2, the X-Force scene alone
Oh yeah.
is
Brilliant.
cinema master.
So fucking funny.
Fantastic. New Mutants is good. It's a very good movie. If you haven't seen it, it's good.
So for number 4.
Oh, number 5, I've got Deadpool.
Oh, so number 5. Wait, so number 6. Wait, New Mutants. Number 5, you have Deadpool.
Yes.
I have
and
Deadpool 2.
You have Deadpool 2.
And number 4, I have Deadpool.
Number 4, I have the original X-Men. But I have to say, seeing that for the first time around other X fans, one of the best moments of my life.
Yes, yes. That is why I put that movie at number 3.
Oh.
Wow,
Number
so your
3.
Future Past is way far up
Yeah,
there.
number 3, I've got Days of Future Past. I think it's...
All right. Well, it also
it's
looks
stellar.
like we're going to
It's
have the
fantastic.
same top
But
2.
in which order?
Well,
It's
here's
going to be the same
deal.
order.
One, if you went by when I saw it, it would be different. But I am now using
yeah.
the fact that the director is a pedophile has tainted it for me.
Yeah.
And I have switched my order. So at
Yeah.
number 2, I put X2. Because it is Bryan Singer, I could not give it number 1.
So number 1 is Logan.
And number 1 is Logan. What about you?
I have switched it. I have X2 as my number 1 and Logan as my number 2.
And honestly, I could totally see that way. And literally the only reason is just me personally giving Bryan Singer's direction the number 1 movie.
No, you're right.
Puts a bad taste in my mouth.
You're right to do it. You're right to do it.
But also, these movies are great for very different reasons.
All I know is that I sat down in the movie theater, it went dark, and when the screen lights came up, Nightcrawler was bamfing all over the White House. That's just, I mean, what am I supposed to do here?
Also, it's just that movie was just sheer perfection. X2. It just
I mean,
was.
it's balanced. It's perfectly balanced.
It's balanced. It kind of just the things that weren't working in the first one, like it kind of fixed. It was just great.
Yeah, like Hallie's accent as Storm.
Yes, but I will say Logan is a work of art.
Logan is a far superior film.
It's
to
a work
X2.
of art. Yes. But that's the thing. The fanboy in me, X2 all the way. I
Yeah.
could rewatch X2 over and over and over again.
Anytime.
I probably don't want to watch Logan over and over and over again.
But that's part of the beauty of Logan is that it's so fucking tragic.
Yes. And that's why I was like, I don't know which one to put first or second because they're so different. And Bryan Singer was the deciding factor.
Yeah,
But
that's
Logan
good.
is just such a fucking great movie.
And they both
so
have
good.
moments where I will uncontrollably sob every time I see it.
Yeah.
In Logan, it's where X-23 tilts the cross grave
Yes.
to be an X. And in X2, it's when Jean sacrifices herself and starts to phoenix up.
You don't understand. I saw that movie it's one of those things of like, if you saw, there's times where you remember seeing a movie in the theater, but if you remember a specific moment in the theater, I saw it with my stupid, awful boyfriend at the time and some other friends and one other girl, and she's the only one that knew the X-Men. And when you saw fucking Famke Janssen's start to get the Phoenix, I just looked over at her and she looked at me and we were like, none of these fuckers understand.
Yep.
What is that? This is an amazing moment right now. This is an amazing moment. And then it was ruined.
This is an impression
And
of
the
me seeing that
last
moment. Seeing that moment for the first
Okay,
time.
yeah.
It was what? What is she gonna do? Oh my god. Oh my god. Are they gonna Oh my god. 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 Oh my god.
And then Brett's in a fetal position on the movie theater floor.
Literally. I just couldn't believe it. And that's our list of X-Men movies.
And the next time we can talk about this is when they're introduced back into the MCU.
Marvel, you're next.
And there's been a lot of rumors and stuff of like how they're going to be introduced, where they're going to be introduced.
I've heard Storm in Black Panther 2. I've heard Mystique and Rogue in Captain Marvel 2. I've heard Logan in Shang-Chi.
So many different possibilities, and I would be down for all of them. Plus, it's like, Disney, come on. Do you not realize if you had a post-credits scene and fucking claws, like the snicked claws come up, do you understand the standing ovation you would have? It's easy. Easy.
They know. And they've got a great plan.
Brett, I'm exhausted.
I am excited and exhausted, so I need to lie down.
I've been lying down this entire time.
Oh my god, so casual.
Yeah, I just have the microphone on the bed right next to me.
Ooh.
Oh.
Do you know what else is casual?
What?
Reading comics. Do you know what it does to you?
I heard that it makes you...
Queer. That's right.
Bye.
Bye.
Damn.